everybody. Welcome in. My name is Liz. I'm the Black Knitter. This is a space of beloved community. If this is your first time here, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you found us. I hope you come back. If you've been here before, I'm so glad you returned. It's good to be with you virtually once again. I'm a little frustrated. It might come across in my voice because this is the third time that I am recording. This has just not been working out well. Third time's a charm. Hopefully it will work. So this is not going to be as organized or in the same format as usual. I just want to make sure that I get some information to you about some things that are coming up. So that you can plan, and just to give you a little bit of an update. I thank you so much to all of you who reached out to me. One, to let me know that the video on the first video that I posted a few days ago was not working, but also just to check in on me to make sure I was okay. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should go over there and follow me because I do post on there pretty regularly. But a couple of things. So first, beloved community. This is a space of beloved community. That means that we choose to hear each other, to really listen to what others have to say because we want to learn. We're here because we want to learn. We are here because we want to be held accountable to putting love at the center of every interaction that we have, so that we can build bridges, right? We want a world where every member of our community can fully participate in the life of that community. That's the kind of world that I want to live in. I hope that's the kind of world that you want to live in. And if that is indeed the world that you want to live in, welcome in. If this is not the kind of community that you're wanting to be a part of, if you're all about excluding people, this is not the space for you. So feel free to exit stage left. So I usually start by giving you an update. Habari Gani, we talk about what's the news. That's Swahili for what is the news, or what's going on. So I've been gone for a while because I got another promotion at work, which is great. But I have a lot more responsibility. I have more than doubled the number of people that report to me, the number of departments that report to me. So I've got a lot more stuff going on, and I usually record on the weekends, and I have just been really tired. I mean, I usually have stuff going on the weekends anyway, but I have just been in a space where I just need to zone out on the weekends to kind of recoup and recover from the week. So that's one of the reasons why I have not been recording. So I'm going to try to make more regular space to do that. One of the reasons that I want to make more time to do these recordings is because we're going to be moving into Kwanzaa season pretty soon. Really excited about that. If you don't know, there are a couple of Kwanzaa Advent collections that are available for pre-order right now. One of them is available from Carol at Chicken Coop Dye Works. The other is available through Ain at Passion Knits Yarn. Again, they're both available for pre-order. You want to get in there because quantities are limited. I've ordered both of mine already. And that's really how this podcast started. I ordered both of those Kwanzaa Advent collections last year. I was really excited about that because I wanted something that was reflective of my culture. And they are both really fantastic collections. Um, and so I started the podcast by opening up packages each day. If you don't know, Kwanzaa is a 7-day cultural holiday that starts the day after Christmas. And so there were packages to open up each day of Kwanzaa. And I did that. You can go back and look at those. I'll try to drop a link to those episodes up here so you can take a look. But that's coming. So be on the lookout for that. Another thing that is happening is I announced on Instagram that, and I did a really short video here, I started teaching at my local yarn shop. Words. And that's going really well. I'm teaching my 3rd class right now, another Learn to Knit course. So if you know anybody who wants to learn to knit and they're in the Akron area, they should check out the classes at Harps and Thistles. But Cindy, the owner at Harps and Thistles, great person, and really began a conversation with me about inclusion in the knitting community. She really wants to create safe spaces for people of color. And so we started a conversation, and Cindy, I want to thank you for being brave enough to start that conversation with me, and for your willingness to partner with me on this journey. She has given her blessing for me to start a knit night at Harps and Thistles. We're going to do that beginning in the new year. You know, the holiday season is upon us, and it's just too crazy to start it now. So we're going to start that in the new year. And we're also working on some things for Black History Month. If y'all remember, I did a Black History Make-Along. I did a Black History Make-Along this year, and I'm going to do that again next year. And we've been talking about doing a YouTube live event to kick off the Black History Make-Along at the shop. So we'll have a combination knit night, kick off Black History Make-Along, and kind of some introduction to some things that we'll have at the shop to celebrate Black designers and dyers. So that is in the works. That knit night will probably, it's going to be well, let me back up here. So we're going to do an event to kick off the Black History Make-Along. That is separate from the regular knit night that will be occurring. So hopefully starting in January, on Sunday afternoons, we will have a Black knitter knit night. So I hope that you will be able to join us if you are in the Akron area. It won't be exclusively for Black and brown makers, but we are determined to create a safe space for Black and brown knitters and crocheters. So if you decide to participate in those knit nights, be ready to help us all create a space of beloved community there. What else do I want to tell you? I've been doing a lot of knitting. I've knit a number of hats, one of which I am wearing. This is a test knit for a new pattern that Fatima at Disturbing the Fleece will be releasing, I think this week or early next week. It's called the Big Hair Much Care hat. It's got a really clever opening here, which is really cool. I love this pattern because Fatima designed this hat with people with hair like mine. And so it's made so that I can fit all of my hair up in here. I can, I've got lots of flexibility with the closure to be able to make it as snug as I want, but still, you know, get my hair up in there. It's a really clever and culturally responsive design. So I appreciate that. And that's why representation in this community is so important, because Fatima designed this hat, like I said, with African American hair in mind, right? I have knit so many hats that don't serve my needs because of the way my hair is. And I have been wanting a hat like this that I can use on days when I'm deep conditioning my hair and need to have my hair up in a plastic cap because I've got conditioner on it. But I need to go out, go to church, whatever. And I can do that in this. This is stylish enough that I can wear this to church, and I already did. As a matter of fact, I wore it to church last Sunday. So, be on the lookout for this pattern. It's coming soon. I've actually made 2 of them because it was so fun to knit. I taught a beginner hat course. Thank you for your recommendations on patterns. I ended up choosing, if you follow me on Instagram, you know this, but I ended up choosing the True Crime and Knit hat by Safiyyah at The Drunk Knitter. This is one sample of that. Love it. Isn't it nice? Love this color. This is actually Malabrigo Rios yarn. The color is Matisse blue. Love it. This is a great hat pattern if you haven't tried it. I have my hands full with some yarn that I received from Emily, who has a sweet little podcast. It's called Two Cultivate Two. She reached out and asked if she could send me some yarn to give away. She also sent she sent me this quite some time ago. I am way behind. I actually owe her an apology because I took so long to respond to an email that she sent me. I'm on the struggle bus sometimes, y'all. But check out this yarn here, y'all. It's a bunch of mini skeins. And what I'm going to do is do a giveaway for these. So anybody who comments on this video is going to go into the drawing. And I'm going to send them all to one person because they are little mini skeins. It looks like it might be worsted. Wait, I kind of unraveled this one. I think it's worsted. But they all go together really nicely. I think this would be a really good fade project. This would actually make a pretty cool night shift. That Andrea Mowry shawl pattern. So I'm going to send these out. Thank you so much, Emily, for sending those. I really appreciate it. I'm holding Nico here. Say hi, Nico. Say hi to the peoples. He's doing okay. That's the other update. He's still eating and drinking really well. He just drank a bunch of water. But he is losing weight again. And we're not really sure why, but we don't really want to do anything really invasive. You know, because he's 15. That stuff really stresses him out. We just really want to focus on helping him live his best life while he can. And, you know, until he's ready to return to the Creator. So, but he's doing pretty good right now. Right, bud? He wants me to hold him right now, so that's what I'm gonna do. I, as you can probably see, have a ton of stuff back here. Stuff that I have purchased. Gifts that I have received in addition to purchases. the big box sitting right there that's full, that looks like it has tissue paper on the top. That box is a gift from Johanna. Thank you so much, Johanna. She sent that so that I could pay it forward to people who need yarn and can't afford yarn, people who may want to learn how to knit but can't afford yarn. So she is trying to clear out her stash, and so she donated a box full, as you can see, of yarn. There's some needles in there. There's a couple of books in there. Just really, really generous donation. So thank you. If you know someone who needs yarn, reach out to me, please. Send me a message on Instagram. You can also email me at theblackknitter, all one word, @gmail.com. And we can work something out to get that to you. I'll be taking some of it to work because I encounter students pretty regularly who they see me knitting and they want to sit down and learn how to knit with me. So that's a good space to have some knitting supplies stashed at work. So thank you so much. I also received a gift from Sam, all the way from the UK. Thank you so much, Sam. She sent me some yarn and a pin and a book, all made by Black makers. So the yarn was dyed by a Black dyer. The book was a book of patterns by BIPOC makers, edited by a Black designer. Really fantastic stuff. There's an organization in the UK called BIPOC in Fiber, and it was started by a knitwear designer there by the name of Jeanette Sloan, and she has a book called Warm Hands that she edited with a co-editor whose name I can't recall right now. I will drop a photo here, but also link it below. But it's all patterns for stuff to go on your hands. Really cool. So I'm looking forward to diving into some of those patterns. The other thing that I got to do while I've been away is my husband and I did go to Dayton for a long weekend. We got to see the wool gathering. We got to, do some visiting around places in the Dayton area. That was really, really fun. I think we're going to make that an annual long weekend date trip because it was a lot of fun. So hopefully next year when we do that, we will see some of you there. I did meet a couple of people, which was really cool. I posted on Instagram about that, I think. But I'll do a separate video about the wool gathering. I have a lot of purchases to talk about that I got there. I just have a lot of purchases together because stuff has just been accumulating. I just pile it up because I want to show you it before I put it into my growing stash. So I will get to that stuff eventually. But the one purchase that I did want to share with you was in October. I went to Charlotte with my mom to visit some family. We drove down, and while I was there, at the recommendation of some Instagram friends, I stopped at Charlotte Yarn with my mom and cousin. And actually, I'm really thankful to the staff at Charlotte Yarn. Hey, Remy. I can't remember the name of the staff person that was helping us. She was fantastic. If you're ever in the Charlotte area, you need to stop by Charlotte Yarn. It's the oldest yarn shop in Charlotte, and it's owned by a Black woman. So you have to check them out. I'll insert some video of the shop, but it's a great place. They've got a great selection of yarns. And I had been trying to convince my cousin, hey Sue, to try knitting. And the staff person there that was helping us helped me convince her. So we actually got her some yarn and some needles. And when we got home, I, showed her how to cast on and knit. And she just keeps practicing and practicing. And I'm actually going to see her next week again. We're meeting down in Orlando to go to the Food and Wine Festival at Disney. And she's going to bring her knitting with her. I'm going to bring some of mine with me too, but we're going to do another lesson. She's been sending me videos of her practice piece, so I'm really excited about that. So I am forever grateful to Charlotte Yarn for convincing my cousin to try it. So we've got another convert. Woo woo. But the person that helped us was asking me if I ever tried these. These are the Mindful Collection needles from Knitter's Pride. And I was like, no, I haven't, because I really don't like metal needles. I really prefer wood. And she was like, you have got to try these needles. And she had some in a project that she was working on. So she said, just try them. It's okay. You can't mess up anything in my project. And I did. And I was like, oh my goodness, these are really nice needles. So I bought a pair. And this is what they look like. Just a stainless steel needle. What I like about this is the information about the needle is on the needle. You can't really see it. You can see that there's something on there. But it's also, sorry buddy, I just bonked Nico with the cord. It's also on the cord on this end. But also on the cord, I don't know if you'll be able to see it in this video. Back it up some. Don't you see those marks on the cord? There's white marks. So it's like a measuring tool built in to the cord. And it's that kind of cord that, doesn't have memory and all of that. So really nice cord on these. They feel really nice in the hand. So if you have a chance to try them, I would recommend that you try them. Maybe just buy a pair. But I'm seriously considering adding the, I think you can get a full set. I don't know if they have an interchangeable set. I'll have to look that up. But I'm gonna add some more of these to like my Christmas option for my husband. So he knows what I would like to have for Christmas. But the other thing I purchased while I was there, I like to, when I'm visiting a yarn shop from out of town, I like to visit shops that, well, no, that's not what I was trying to say. What I was trying to say, I like to get things that I can't get at my local yarn. I keep saying local yarn. Wow. Anyway, I like to get things that I can't get at my local yarn shop. So I got some yarn from I believe a local dyer. So in North Carolina, it's Native Fibers. There's the label. I hope that's not too blurry. Native Fibers. I actually got 4 skeins, so I got 2 of this colorway. It's gray and purple. That's showing up pretty true to color. This colorway is called I Choose a Mortal Life. It's 80/20 superwash merino nylon. So I could use this for some DK weight socks. But this is probably going to be a shawl because I got all these coordinating colors. This colorway is called Masquerade. It's definitely got those like Mardi Gras kind of masquerade colors. That's what it reminds me of anyway. And then this color is Sleepy Hollow, which is awesome. That's one of our favorite Halloween movies, the one with Johnny Depp. It's funny and scary. Love that. And again, these are showing up pretty true to color. So that was a lovely, lovely visit. So again, if you are in the Charlotte area, definitely stop in and see the staff at Charlotte Yarn and support a BIPOC maker by buying some native fiber yarn. I think for now, that's it as far as the yarny stuff. You know, as far as a limu education, I have been thinking a lot about a lot of things. It's kind of hard to determine where to start. So what I would like for you to do is, the last podcast I mentioned that I created a form where you could submit questions that you have for me. So I would invite you to use that form. I'll have the link in the description box to submit questions that you may have about me, about race and knitting, about faith, any questions that you have that have been, you know, topics that we've discussed here on this podcast. And I'll try to answer those. I would like to have enough questions to talk about maybe during our live event at the beginning of the Black History Make Along. So please submit your questions, and that will be part of the live. I'm really excited about this year's Black History Make Along. So I hope you will be able to join us either in person or virtually for that. Also, as far as education, I'll just share real quickly. I've been reading a book. I'm not that far into it, but it's really, really good. It's called Burying White Privilege, Resurrecting a Badass Christianity. There it is, by Miguel de la Torre. I will tell you that if you decide to pick up this book, it is not for the faint of heart. He says some pretty strong things in here. One thing that he talks about is white Christian support for what he refers to as Trumpism, you know, which is it is a form of conservatism that rallies people by targeting Black and brown people and LGBTQIA plus people, liberal people, and immigrant people. And it is certainly not reflective of the gospel of Jesus. That's really the argument in this book. Just to give you a flavor, in one part of the book he talks about Um, you know, the number of people who describe themselves as white Christians who voted for Trump in 2016, and how many young people, millennials, Gen Z people, saw that as hypocritical, and that those young people are leaving the church because of the hypocrisy that they see in the church, from people who profess to follow Jesus, but at the same time are putting all of this effort into supporting people who want to exclude and oppress people. It's just, for young people, it doesn't make sense. For me, it doesn't make sense, to be honest. But this is what he says, and this gives you a flavor for the book. It says, the gospel is slowly dying in the hands of so-called Christians, with evangelicals supplying the morphine drip. Christ's message of love, peace, and liberation has been distorted and disfigured by Trumpish flim-flammers who made a Faustian bargain for the sake of expediency, whose licentious desire for ultra-conservative Supreme Court justices trumped God's call to judge justly. So he's really making the argument that white Christians are so focused on winning elections that they have really moved away from the message of the gospel. So really good stuff. In reading this, I feel like he was predicting the future. This came out in 2019, and we've seen some things since this was published that he talks about in this book. So really interesting read if you're interested. So that's it for now. I hope to see you soon. I'll get my life together and be more intentional about making time to do this, because I do enjoy the conversations that we have virtually. And I love meeting all of you face to face when the opportunity presents itself. And I love the space that we are creating here. So I'll see you next time. Asante sana.